Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 4 Extended, which is calculated in a session February-March 2025 Paper 4-2. So let's start with the first question. So in Paper 4 you must have given all these list of formulas. Question number 1. Write down a factor of 28 that is a prime number. Okay, so first let me list the factors of 28. So the factors of 28 is 1 is a factor of 28 and 2 is a factor of 28, not 3, and then we have 4, and we have 4 times 7 is 28, 2 times 14 is 28, and 1 times 28 is 28. These are the factors of 28. Now you have to pick the factor that is a prime number, right? 1 is not a prime number, 2 is the even prime number, 7 is a prime number, 4, 14, and 28, these are not the prime number. So you can pick any factor of 28 that is a prime number. It can be 2 or it can be 7. Question number 2, you have to simplify this. So first we can say 4y square minus y square, combining the like terms, plus 3y plus 2y. So this is going to be 4 minus 1 would be 3y square plus 5y. Okay. Because we just have to simplify. They are not asking to factorize. If they ask to factorize, then you can take y common and 3y plus 5 would be the answer. So 3y square plus 5y. This is a simplified form. Question number 3. Shade 2 more small squares to make a pattern with the 2 lines of symmetries. Okay, let's see the lines of symmetries. We cannot draw a vertical line of symmetry over here, right? Neither the horizontal line of symmetry. Okay, let me check with this one. Let's see, this is a line of symmetry. If I can draw this as a line of symmetry. So you can see this and this, these two are symmetrical. This one is shaded. You have to shade this block, right, to make it symmetrical. Let me shade it. Okay, so according to this line, these two sides and this one, this is symmetrical, and this one. So these are the two other shaded square, but this is the first line of symmetry. If I can check this as a line of symmetry. Okay, if I draw this as a line of symmetry, these two are symmetrical. Yes. So these are the two other squares, which makes a pattern with 2 lines of symmetry. This is the first line of symmetry and the other one. Moving to question number 4, you have to calculate this, give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. Since it is a calculated paper, so just calculate it. Okay, so 20.24, subtract the cube root of 30 and then divide it by 6.5. This is gonna be 2.6358. You have to find the answer up to 1 decimal place. So this is the 1 decimal place. The next number is 3, which is not more than 5. So you have to round down. So 2.6 is the simplified answer. Question number 5. A pattern is formed by 3 concurrent triangles. 3 concurrent triangles means they're exactly the same size and same angles, right? Each rectangle is a rotation of 90 degree around one vertex of the rectangle next to it. So each is a rotation. This is rotated, the other one is rotated around one vertex, right? Point A has a coordinates 2, 5, and the point B has a coordinate 4 and 1.5. Write down the coordinates of C and D. Okay. So point A has a coordinate. This is the point 2, right? And this is the point 5. So this is a coordinate 5. All right. Okay. This one here, x value is 4. and the y value is 1.5. This is 1.5. All right, we have to solve for C and for D. Let me find out the length of 5 and 1.5 and 2 and 4. The difference between 2 and 4 is just 2. So this distance length is 2 and the difference between 5 and 1.5 is 3.5 and this is 3.5. So this 3.5, these two are 2, right? So these are basically the dimensions of the first rectangle. Now with the help of these dimensions we can easily guess the coordinates for C and the coordinates of D. All right, so for C, since this is a concurrent rectangle, so they have the same side length, so this length is also 3.5 and this length is also 2. All right, so if this length is 3.5, this point to this point, the length is 3.5. Okay, these two lengths, these 2 points are 3.5. It means between 4 to some point, their length should be 3.5. So what would be the x coordinate of C now? So in 4, we have to add 3.5 to get this. 4 plus 3 would be 7, and 0.5 is 7.5. So the difference between 4 and 7.5, this is 3.5. You can also check 7.5 and 4, the difference is 3.5. So the x coordinate of C we got is 7.5, right? Okay, now let me solve for the y coordinate of C. As you can see, these two lengths should be 2 units. So 5 subtract 2, this would be 3 because the length of 3, 5 and 3, this is equals to 2. So the y coordinate of C is 3. X coordinate of C is 7.5 and the y coordinate of C is 3. We can easily guess it, the values. Okay, let me write this down. I hope this makes sense now. This is 7.5 and 3. Let me solve for D, the coordinates of D. All right, so for the D, again, the length, this length and this length, this should be 2 units. So in 7.5, what we add to make it 2 units, right? So in 7.5, you have to add 2. This would be 9.5 because the length between 9.5 and 7.5 would be equals to 2. So the dx coordinate is 9.5. Sorry. Now let me solve for the dy coordinate. This would be the y coordinate of d over here. Okay, so this length till this length. This length should be equals to 3.5. The 3.5, right? So this is 3 plus what makes 3.5. Okay, so in 3 we have to add 3.5, right? So this would be 6.5 and the difference between 6.5 and 3 would be 3.5. So the y coordinate is 6.5. So the dx and y coordinates are, x coordinate is 9.5 and the y coordinate is 6.5. All right. Question number 6. Each week, Nisha is paid $12 per hour for the first 40 hours she works. She is paid 30% more per hour of an extra hours that she works, means after 40 hours. First 40 hours, the salary is $12 per hour, right? And the onward to 40 hours, like from 41 hours onward, the salary is 30% more of per hour. So what is 30% of per hour salary, which is $12? This would be 30 over 100 times by 12. This is 30% of 12, 3.6. Add this in 12. Okay, this is 3.6, right? So the salary after the extra hours would be 3.6. Add in 12, this would be $15.6. 1 week Nisha worked 45.5 hours. Calculate how much she's paid that week. Okay, so 40, the total hours are 45.5 hours. This would be 40 hours plus 5.5 hours. 40 plus 5.5 would be 45.5, right? So the first 40 hours, the salary is 12. So $12 multiplied by the 40 hours. 1 hour is 40. 2 hour is for 1 hour salary for the first 40 hours is $12, right? So for the 40-hour salary for the first 40 is 12 times of 40, plus she's paid 30% more per hour, which is $15.6 for an extra hours she works. The extra hours would be in 15.6 is multiplied by the extra hours are 5.5. All right, let me simplify now. 12 times 40, add this in 15.6 times 5.5, $565.8. 565.8. So this much she's paid that week. Question number 7. The table shows the age and the mass of each of 10 babies. The age and the masses. Okay. Now for part A, complete the scatter diagram. The first 6 points have been plotted for you. Okay. So when the age is 9 weeks, the mass is 4.6 kilograms. Right. Where is 9 weeks? This is age in weeks. This is a 9 weeks, right? And this is 4. We have to measure 4.6. This is 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, and 4.6. When the age is 7 weeks, 4.5, 7 weeks. This is 7 week 4. It is 4.5 over here. Age is 1 week, the weight is 2.5. 1 week, 2.5 is over here. Right. When the age is 11 week, 5.3, 11 week. This is 5, 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3 is over here. Yeah, the scatter diagram is completed. Part B. What type of correlation is shown in the scatter diagram? So let's see. When the age of a baby increase from 1 week till 15 weeks, you can see the the mass in terms of kilograms, is it increase or decrease? It is also increasing. Yes, when the age is increasing, the mass is increasing, so this is a positive correlation. When one quantity increase, other also increase, that is a positive one, right? Now for part C, on the scatter diagram, draw the line of best fit. So let me draw any line of best fit. Okay. Okay, it might be different in your case. It passes to the 4 points. Yes, this is going to be better. I drew this line of best fit. Now, for D, use a line of best fit to estimate the mass of 14 weeks old baby. 14 weeks old. Where is 14? The mass might be different in your case. It depends on the line of best fit, right? So this mass is 6. According to my line of best fit, the mass of 14 weeks old baby is 6 kilograms. This would be 6, right? Question number 8. The scale drawing shows the position of boat A and boat B. The scale is 1 centimeter, represents 0.5 kilometer. Boat A and boat B and the north. Okay. Number A. Calculate the actual distance between boat A and boat B in terms of kilometers. Actual distance. Let me measure the actual distance between A and B. Okay, you can see between A and B what is the actual distance. This is 3.5, 3.6, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, and 3.8, I guess. Yeah, 3.8 centimeters. This is 3.8 centimeters, and 1 centimeter is representing 0. 5 kilometer. So this is 3.8 multiply 0.5 in terms of kilometers. If 1 centimeter is this much, then what about 3.5 centimeters? 3.8 times 0.5. Let me calculate this. 1.9 kilometers. This is the actual distance. Now for part B, lighthouse L lies to the east of boats A and B. Okay, this is a north, south, east, and west. So east is this side of boat A and B, the lighthouse L. L is 4.4 kilometer from boat A and 3.3 kilometer from boat B. Use a ruler and compasses only, construct and label the position of L. All right, so 4.4 kilometers and 3.3 kilometers. So first we have to convert them into centimeters. Okay, 1 centimeter is 0.5 kilometers according to the scale, right? So what about 1 over 0.5 centimeter? This would be 1 kilometers. Now we have to solve for 4.4 kilometers. Okay, let me do it over here. So 4.4 kilometers, this would be equals to 4.4 divide 0.5 centimeters, and 3.3 kilometers, this would be 3.3 divided by 0.5 centimeters. So let me measure this. 4.4 over 0.5, 8.8. 8.8 centimeters, and 3.3 over 0.5, this would be 6.6 centimeters. All right, so from boat A, this is 8.8 centimeter. Let me use a compass and the ruler. Okay, we have a ruler. You can see this is in centimeters, and from boat A the length should be 8.8. Okay, here is 8 and 8.8 is over here, right? So let me show you. Let me open the compass of length 8.8. Okay, a little bit wider. No, it's more. It's 9. This is 8.8 exactly. You can see. So put your compass at point A and draw an arc of length 8.8. This is an arc. All right. Now the next one at B, this is 6.6. Let me measure the length of 6.6. Okay. Yes, this is 6.5, a bit wider to make it 6.6. It's more. This is a fixed point, and then this is 6.6. You can see. Put it on point B and let me draw an arc. Okay, you can see the two arcs cuts at this point. So here is the position of lighthouse L. You just have to construct and label the position of L. Do not match with A and B. Just construct. This is a construction and labeled. Okay, students, in question number 8, part A, according to the marking scheme, the answer should be 2.1 kilometer. But my answer is 1.9 kilometer. Why? This is because of the printing, right? My print is, according to my printouts, you guys can see the actual length between the position of two boats A and boat B is 3.8 centimeters, and then converting centimeters into kilometers by multiplying it by the scale, which is 0.5, so you will get the answers. But maybe you according to your printing or according to the actual exam, the printing, the actual distance length between A and B should be 4.0 or 4.1, 2, 3, 4, then you will get the answer 2.1 kilometer. So this is just because of the printing errors, right? position, right? Question number 9, write the number to standard form. All right. So we have to move the decimal point 1 unit, 2 unit, and 3 units to the right. This is 7.09 times 10 to the power. So this would be negative 3. Why negative? Because when we are moving the decimal points some units to the right, you have to put the negative power. To the left, it should be a positive power. It's reverse in standard forms, right? Now for part B, workout, give your answer in standard form. All right. Okay, 4 to the power 2 multiply 10 to the power 4 to the power 2. 4 times 4 is 16 times 10 to the power 4 times 2 would be 8. Yeah. So in standard form, we have to write this down. So the decimal point is over here. You have to move 1 unit to the left, right? So this 1.6 times 10 to the power 8 plus 1. As I told you, when you are moving to the left, you add. When you're moving to the right, you subtract. So the answer is 1.6 times 10 to the power 9. Question number 10, part A. Draw the image of number 1, triangle A of the reflection in a line y equals to 1. So let me draw the line y equals to 1 first. This is the line y equals to 1. Here the y value is 1. So this is the horizontal line y equals to 1. You have to do the reflection of the triangle A. So this coordinate vertex is 1 unit. So this distance should be 1 unit. This is 1 and 2 unit. This should be 1 and 2 units over here. This is 1, 2, 3 and 4 units. So this should be 1, 2, 3 and 4 units. So this would be the image of triangle A of the reflection. Right. Now for the second part, triangle A after translation by the vector -6 and 1. -6 is the horizontal translation and 1 is the vertical translation. Means what you have to do, you have to move 6 units left because it is negative, and you have to move 1 unit up because it is positive for triangle A, right? 6 left and 1 up. All right. Fix this one. 6 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 up. -4 and 3 would be the coordinate, the new coordinate, right? This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 up. -5 and 4. This one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 up. This should be -3 and 6. So these are the new coordinates of the translation. That's the new shape for the triangle A. Now for part B, describe fully a single transformation that maps A onto B. Okay, you can see A onto B. This is not an enlargement, obviously, not a deflection. It is a rotation, right? Okay. Yeah, this is obvious. You can see the triangle is not reflected. A to B, you can see the two shapes. It is not a reflection, not even an enlargement. The shape is not enlarged. It is same. It is not even translation as well. So if you can fix the coordinates, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4 down and 2 to the right. So if you move 1, 2, 3, 4 down and 2 right, no, it is not a translation. This is a rotation. Right now we have to check the rotation is you can see the rotation is clockwise, rotation and clockwise. You have to check the center of rotation, and the orientation is 90-degree. Yeah, it is a rotation 90-degree clockwise, and let's find out the center of rotation. So let me write this down first. This is a rotation 90-degree clockwise. Okay, now the center of rotation, let's figure out. Sorry students, I did the mistake. in the B part that it is obvious that it is a rotation, but it is not a 90-degree rotation. And this is also obvious that it is a clockwise rotation. When you rotate the shape 90-degree over here, and then this side would be this. I think this is a 270-degree rotation. Yeah. So let's see. This is 270-degree rotation and it is clockwise. Now let's find out the center of the rotation, right? So there are two ways to find the center of rotation: with the help of the tracing paper or with the help of the perpendicular, by drawing the perpendicular. So most of the students complain me in the comment section that we do not have allowed tracing papers. But wait a second. If you guys can read the instructions in the paper, it is given that you may use a tracing paper. So it means tracing paper is allowed in the exam, right? So in this question, I will show you both ways to find the center of rotation, right? The first way is with the help of a tracing paper. Let's suppose you have a tracing paper, then how can you find the center of rotation? Let us suppose I have this tracing paper, but actually it is a separator. It's not a tracing paper. So I'm using it just to explain you guys. So let me trace the original shape. So when you have a tracing paper, you can have to trace the original shape on the tracing paper, and then you have to fix the center and do a guess and check method. Rotate it 90-degree or 180-degree, right? Okay, let's change another center. Move it, put it back. Okay, if I can say, let's first I check at origin. Now let me check at this point. It's 90. This is 180, and this would be, wait, this is at 180, and then 270 is this rotation. Yeah, you can see this is kind of matching, so it should be 3 and something, the center should be. So let me fix 3 with the -1. X is 3 and the y value is -1. You can see y is -1 and the x is 3. Let me fix this center. Okay, this is original one. Let me rotate it 90-degree and then 180-degree and then 270-degree. Yeah, it's exactly the same. So it is 270-degree clockwise rotation about the center, 3 and -1. Okay. This is 3 and -1 is the center of rotation. This is the first way to find the center of rotation with the help of the tracing paper. What if you do not have a tracing paper? Then what's the next method? So if you do not have a tracing paper, you have to match the coordinates of the shape A and the shape B, the original one and the rotated one. Just match one coordinate and you have to measure the length. So this length is, you can measure, this is 4 centimeter. This would be the midpoint. So at this midpoint, you have to find its perpendicular. Use a protector. Where is 90? 90 is over here. Draw the line. Okay, let me draw its perpendicular, right? Now let me fix another vertex, this point and this point. Measure the length. This is 7.5. And what is the half of 7.5, or you can say the midpoint of 7.5? Okay, 7.5 by 2 is 3.75. This is 3.75. This is 3.5, 3.6, 3.7. 3.75 is somewhere over here. Let's find out its perpendicular. Yep, that is a perpendicular. Match this. Okay, let me match the two perpendiculars. Okay, now you can see the two perpendicular passes through this point, 3 and -1. So this would be the center of rotation. So these are the two ways to find out the center of rotation with the help of the tracing paper. Or if you do not have a tracing paper, then how can you do it? You just have to match the coordinates, the corresponding coordinates of the original and the rotated shape. With the first coordinate, draw its perpendicular by finding out its midpoint, and then the second one, draw its perpendicular. You can do for the third one as well. So the two shapes are okay, so you have to just find out at what point the two perpendicular lines intersect. So this would be the center. I hope this makes sense now. I did the rotation 270 clockwise and the center of rotation. This is also possible that this is obvious that a shape A to B, it is a rotation. If you do a rotation of clockwise, then it is 270 about the center 3 and -1. But if you do a rotation 90, it is anti-clockwise. So both are correct. You can take it is a rotation. You can take 90 and it must be anti-clockwise. So the rotation of 90 anti-clockwise or the rotation of 270 clockwise, both answers you will get the same marks for both, because the marking scheme says 90 anti-clockwise. You can also do 270 clockwise as well. Question number 11, part A. Midhil invest $1,500 at a rate of 4.2% per year compound interest. Calculate the value of the investment at the end of 5 years. It is a compound interest, so it has a formula. The value of investment is A equals to P is the investment into 1 plus R to the power T. Value of investment is A, P is the investment, which is 1,500. 1 plus R is the interest rate, which is 4.2%, and to the power of 5 years. Let me simplify. Okay. So 1 plus, or we can say 4.2 over 100, add 1, and its exponent is 5, and times it by 1,500. The value of investment at the end of 5 years would be $1,842.6. Now for part B, Hidansha invests some money at the end at the rate of X% per year compound interest. At the end of 11 years, the value of the investment has doubled. Find the value of X. Again, a compound interest question. A equals to P into 1 plus R to the power T. Okay. So he invests some amount of money. Let's say he invests X. Investment is X, and the value of investment is double, 2 times of X, right? So I'm not using X because we have already given the interest rate R is X. Okay, so the investment we can take A and 2 times of A. Okay, the value of investment is 2 times of A. Investment is A into 1 plus X%, and the time is 11 years. We have to solve for X, right? Okay, so this A and this A is cancelled out. So we are left with 2 equals to 1 plus X over 100 to the power 11, right? You have to make the power 1 over 11 on both sides, or you can say 11th root on both sides. So 2 to the power 1 over 11, this would be 1 plus X over 100. Further simplification, x over 100, this would be equals to 2 to the power of 1 over 11, subtract 1. And x should be equals to 2 to the power 1 over 11, subtract 1. And then you have to times it by 100 by cross multiplying. Let me simplify all of it. 2 to the power 1 over 11, subtract 1 times by 100. So x should be equals to 6.5%. X value 6.5. Question number 12. A cone has sloping edge 12 centimeter and the base radius is 5 centimeter. Calculate the total surface area of the cone. Let me draw the cone. Just a rough sketch. This is the shape of the cone, right? The sloping edge is 12. This sloping edge, this is 12 centimeter. and the base radius. From the base, this is some vertical height, and this would be the base radius. The base radius is 5 centimeter. Okay, we have to solve for the height of do we need the height? Let's see. What is the formula for the total surface area of a cone? The total surface area of the cone is basically the curved surface area of the cone and the base of the cone. The base is in the shape of a circle, so area of a circle is pi r square, and the curved surface area is pi r l. So we can say the total surface area of cone is pi r square plus pi r l, or we can say pi r plus l. Pi r is common, so r plus l, right? So we have pi, the radius is 5, and 5 plus the sloping edge is 12. No need to solve for the height, it's simple. So pi into 5 plus 12 is 17, and 5 times 17 in terms of pi, 5 times 17 is 85. So the answer is 85 pi centimeter square, or 85 times it by pi. 85 pi is 267.04 centimeter square. Question number 13. The table shows the first 5 terms of a sequence A, B, and C. Sequence A, sequence B, and sequence C, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth term. Right? Complete the table to show the nth term of each of the sequence. Okay, we have to find the nth term for all of them, right? Let me start with the sequence A, right? So the sequence A has the term 5, 12, 31, 68, 129. Let me find out the difference between the terms. Between 12 and 5, the difference is 7. In 31 and 12, the difference is 19. Okay, 68 and 31, 37 is the difference. 129 and 68, this is 61. Okay, the first difference is not constant and it is obvious. Let's solve for the second difference. 19 and 7, the difference is 12. 37 and 19, 18, the difference is 18. And 61 and 37, the difference is 24. The second difference is not constant either. Okay, the third difference, 18 and 12, the difference is 6. 24 and 18, the difference is 6. First, second, third. So you can see the third difference is constant. So when the third difference is constant, third difference is constant. So this must be a cubic sequence. Okay. Okay, so in cubic sequence, we must have 4 unknowns, right? So cubic sequence has a formula A, if we can talk about n, yeah, it's the nth term, a n cube plus b n square plus c n plus d. This would be the cubic sequence, right? Now what is a, b, c, and d? So we need these. The first term of third difference, first term of second difference, first term of first difference, and the first term of the sequence, right? Okay, so the first thing is we can say 2a would be equals to the first term of, sorry, 6a. This is for the quadratic. 6a would be equals to the term of the first term of the third difference, the constant one, the constant difference, right? Now we have to use the first term of the second difference. This equation is 12a plus 22b, right? And this equation is 7a plus 3b plus c. This would be equals to 7. This would be equals to 12. And 5 would be equals to a plus b plus c plus d would be equals to 5. You have to remember these equations, right? Okay, now let's figure out one by one. I'm using a separate sheet of paper to solve all of them. So first we have to solve for a. Since we know that the first equation is 6a would be equals to the constant difference, so a value is 1. The second equation is 12a plus 2b would be equals to the first term of second difference, which is 12. Since a value is done, so we have 12 plus 2b equals to 12. 12 minus 12 would be equals to 0. So 2b equals to 0 and the b value is 0. Now the third equation is 7a plus 3b plus c equals to 7, the first term of the first difference. So these are the standard equation. You can also memorize these equations. You must have to learn these. Okay, so a value is 1, so 7, b value is 0, and the c, this would be equals to 7. So 7 is cancelled with 7, c value is 0. All right. Now the fourth equation is a plus b plus c plus d. This would be equals to the first term of the difference, which is 5. A is 1, b is 0, c is 0, and d, this would be equals to 5. So we can say the d value is 5 minus 1. This would be equals to 4. Okay, now the cubic sequence is an cube plus bn square plus cn plus d. This would be a value is 1, so we have n cube, b is 0, c is 0, and the d is 4. N cube plus 4, this would be the nth term for the sequence a. So we can check as well. So we can say 1 cube is 1, 1 plus 4 would be equals to 5. I got this, n cube plus 4. Okay, now the second is 2 cube plus 4 is 12. 3 cube plus 4 is 31. 4 cube plus 4 is 68. 5 cube plus 4 is 129. So this is the exact one. All right. Now moving to the second difference sequence B. Let me write down sequence B over here. So the sequence B, the numerator is 10 over 3, and then we have 9 by 4 and 8 over 5. The next is 7 over 6, 6 over 7, and so on. So as you can see, if we talk about the numerator first, the numerators are 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and so on. So decreasing by 1. The numerators are decreasing by 1. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So in the numerator, it is an arithmetic progression. So a n would be equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. A is the first term, n minus 1, d is the common difference, which is negative 1. So we have 10 minus n plus 1. So this is 11 minus n. 10 minus plus 1 is 11, sorry, 11 minus n, 11 minus 1, 11 minus 2, 11 minus 3, 11 minus 4, 11 minus 5, right? So the numerator is 11 minus n. Let's work for the denominator. The denominator is the same thing. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Every term is adding by 1. So the difference is adding by 1. So the nth term is a n equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. This is again a arithmetic progression, right? A is the first term of the sequence. N minus 1, d is 1. So 3 plus n minus 1, which is 2 plus n. 2 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 3, 2 plus 4, 2 plus 5. So this is 2 plus n. 11 minus n over 2 plus n. This is for sequence B. 11 minus n over 2 plus n. Let's work for the sequence C. Okay, so 4, 8, 16, 32, and 64. All right. I guess this is a geometric progression. Yeah, because it has a common ratio. Let's see. Let me write down the sequence C. 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Let me solve for the ratio. The second term over the first term, or we can say the third over second, fourth over third, fifth over fourth. Let's see the common ratios. This R is 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32, 32 times 2 would be 64. Yes, it is a geometric progression. Geometric progression has the nth term a r to the power n minus 1. A is the first term, r is the common ratio, n minus 1. So 4 into 2 power n minus 1, yes. 4, 2 to the power n minus 1. Okay, so nth term of sequence C, we can further simplify. So 4 is 2 to the power 2 and here 2 to the power n minus 1. When the bases are same, we can add the powers 2 to the power 2 plus n minus 1 and here we have 2 to the power n plus 1. So this would be the nth term. Okay, let's move it further. Question number 14, we have the function f of x. Question part A, find f of negative 3. So just substitute the x value negative 3. This would be 5 minus 4 into minus 3. This would be 5 minus plus times minus is plus, 4 times 3 is 12. In 12, if we add 5, this would be 17. Part B, find f of 3 minus 2x. Give your answer in its simplest form. This is 5 minus 4. The x is replacing with 3 minus 2x. This would be 5 minus 4 times 3 is 12. Minus times minus is plus, 4 times 2 would be 8x. Okay, and from 12 take away 5. This is negative 7 and plus 8x. In its simplest form, the answer is 8x minus 7. Part C, find f inverse of x. For f inverse of x, we can say y equals to f of x, which is 5 minus 4x. Now we have to switch the variables. So x should be equals to 5 minus 4y. Now you have to solve for y in the next step. So x minus 5, this is negative 4y, and the y value is x minus 5 over negative 4, or we can say 5 minus x over 4 if you absorb the negative sign in the numerator. This is f inverse of x, 5 minus x over 4. Question number 15, Virat records the height of each of 80 sunflowers. Total are 80. The results are shown in the table. Calculate the estimate of the mean height. Part A. Mean height. For the mean, the formula is sum of fx divided by the total. The total are 80 sunflowers. This is f. What is x? X is the midpoint of the intervals. Right. Let me figure out what is the midpoint. For midpoint of 1.2 and 1.5, add them up and divide it by 2. 1.35 is the midpoint. Okay, the midpoint of 1.5 and 1.6 divided by 2. 1.55 is the midpoint. 1.6 and 1.7. 1.65 should be the midpoint. Let's see. Yeah, 1.65. 1.7 and 1.9. I guess 1.8 is the midpoint. Yes, 1.8. All right, now fx, the product of frequency and the midpoints, 12 and this, the midpoints. 12 times 1.35, 16.2. 20 times 1.55, 31. The next is 34 times 1.65, 56.1. 14 times 1.8, 25.2. Okay, now the mean would be the sum of 16.2, 31, 56.1 and 25.5. 25.2 divided by the total is 80 sunflowers. This should be 16.2, 31, 56.1, 25.2 divided by 80. 160625. 1.60625 meters is the mean, estimated mean. Okay, now for part B, draw a histogram to show the information in the table. For histogram, we need the heights in meters and the frequency densities, right? We have given the frequencies, we have to solve for the frequency densities. So the frequency density has a formula which is frequency divided by the class width. Okay, since we have the frequencies of all the intervals, we have to solve for the class width, right? So first write down the frequencies, then write down the class width, and then write down the frequency density. Let me make a table for all of it. One, two, three, four, I guess. Okay, here we have to write down the frequencies, their class widths, and their frequency densities. Frequency density is frequency over the class width. Okay, make the top line. All right, so the frequencies, we have one, two, three, four. One, two, three, and four. All right, so frequencies we have 12, 20, 34, and 14. Let's work on the class width. Class width is the difference between 1.5 and 1.2. Okay, the class width, 1.5 minus 1.2. 0.3 is the class width. The next interval is 1.6 and 1.5. The difference is 0.1. 1.7 and 1.6 again 0.1. 1.9 and 1.7. This is 0.2, the class width. Now let's find out the frequency densities. By this formula, the frequencies are going to divide with the class width, 12 over 0.3. This would be 40. 20 over 0.1. This is 200. 34 over 0.1, 340. And 14 over 0.2, which is 70. All right. Frequency densities, and we have the heights. The intervals we have is between 1.2 and 1.5. When the height is 1.2 and 1.5, the frequency density is 40. Okay, so where is 40? We have 50 and 40s over here. Let me draw this. One block below 50 is 40. Between 1.2 and 1.5. The next interval is 1.5 till 1.6. Over there. It's 200. Okay. This is 200. The next interval is 1.6 till 1.7. This point is 1.7. This is 340. Let me show you where is 340. This is 300. 340 is one block below 350. Okay. The last one is 1.7 till 1.9. This is 70. 1.7 and 1.9, where is 70? This is 50, 60, and 70 is over here. All right, this is how the histogram look like. Question number 16. The graph shows the speed of the cyclist during a journey of 30 seconds. Okay, the speed and the time is from 0 to 30 seconds. Part A, write down the acceleration of the cyclist between 15 to 25 seconds. 15 seconds till 25, these two. 15 seconds to 25 seconds. We have to write down the acceleration. Here is 15 and here is 25. Between 15 to 25, there is no speed. The cyclist is at rest. So the acceleration is 0. We can say cyclist is at rest. All right. Now for part B, by drawing a tangent, find an estimate for the acceleration of the cyclist at 0.5 seconds. Sorry, 7.5 seconds. So let me draw the tangent first at 7.5 seconds when the time is 7.5. This time is, it is 7. Okay. Here the time is 5 seconds, this is 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 and 10. This is 7.5 seconds. Here the time is 7.5 seconds. First we have to draw the tangent. It is 7.5. This point is 7.5. Let me draw the tangent. Okay. Okay, so we drew the tangent. Now we have to estimate the acceleration. Acceleration is basically the gradient. All right. Let me pick the 2 points. The first point is x is this point. If I can say x is 7.5 and the y is 6, 7 and 8. The y value is 7. This is the first point. And the next point we can say x value is 0 and the y value is 4. Close to 4, yes, 0 and 4. Just an estimate. This is not the exact one. Let's find out the gradient. So we can say the acceleration is basically the gradient, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the coordinates are 0, 4 and 7.5 and 7. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 3 over 7.5. 3 divides 7.5. 0.4 meter per second square is the acceleration, estimated one. Now for part C, we have work out the average speed of the cyclist between 15 seconds and 30 seconds. Here is a 15 second and here is a 30 seconds. Average speed of the cyclist, right? So we know that average speed is total distance traveled over total time taken. All right. So what is the total distance traveled in terms of speed time graph? In terms of speed time graph, the total distance traveled is area under the curve. And the total time taken, 15 seconds to 30 seconds is 15 seconds is the total time, right? So we have to find the area under the curve, basically. Here is the 15 seconds. And here we have 25 seconds. Okay. So we have to find the area of this rectangle and area of the triangle. Area of the rectangle between 15 to 25, this length is 10. This is 0 to 8, this length is 8. This length is also 8 and this is 5. So area of a rectangle is length times width. Area of a triangle is half base times height. All right, so let's say the average speed, this is going to be area of a rectangle is 10 times 8 plus area of a triangle is half, the base is 5 and the height is 8 divided by 15 seconds. The top one, 10 times 8 is 80, 2 times 4 is 8 and 4 times 5 is 20 divided by 15. 80 plus 20 is 100 over 15. What is 100 over 15? 100 over 15 is 6.67 meter per second. This is the average speed of the cyclist between 15 to 30 seconds. Question number 17. The diagram shows 3 points A, B, and C on a horizontal ground. A, B, and C, they all are on the horizontal ground. The bearing of C from A the bearing of C from A is 145 degrees. And the angle ACB, AC and B is 38 degrees. AC is 65 meters and BC is 95 meters. Part A, find the bearing of B from C. From C, you have to find the bearing. Okay. From C, it means you have to draw the north line at C. And if we extend this north line, this hole would be the bearing of B from C. This is 180. In 180, we have to add something, right? Okay. So this angle from this point to this point is 180 degree. As you can see, this line and this line, these two are the parallel lines. So this angle and this angle, these are alternate angles. They are equal 145 degrees. If this is 145, this is 145. The bearing is 180 plus 145. Okay, 180 plus 145. This is 325 degrees. Now for part B, show that AB is 59.3 meters correct to one decimal place. A to B, we have to show AB. Okay, if we consider the triangle A, B and C, we have angle C and we have the two sides. We can apply the law of cosine over here. Yes, we can say law of cosine. The angle C we have given, its front side is AB, which we have to work on. So AB, its square would be equals to the other two sides are 95 square, 65 square minus 2 into 95 into 65 and cos of the angle between the two sides, which is 38 degrees. Let me solve for AB. Okay. Cos, this is in degrees, 38 times 65 times 95 times -2. Okay. Further simplification, add 65 square and add 95 square. The square root of 3518.06. Okay. Square root of answer 59.3 up to one decimal place. This is exactly the same. Right. Part C, angle BAC is obtuse more than 90 degree. BAC, where is BAC? B, A and C, this angle. This is an obtuse angle. They said it is more than 90 degree. The question is find the bearing of B from A. From A, we have to find the bearing of B. This would be the bearing of B from A. So first we have to find that obtuse angle BAC, right? So this length is 59.3. We have all the three sides of the triangle and one angle. We can find this angle by using law of sine, right? Let me apply the law of sine. Let's say this is an angle A, this is angle C, and this is angle B. Angle A and its front side, angle C and its front side, right? We can say sine of A and its front side is 95 equals to sine of angle C is 38 degrees and its front side is 59.3. Let me solve for angle A, which is 95 over 59.3 times sine of 38 degrees. All right, this is 95 over 59.3 times sine 38. Okay, so let me solve for A. So A would be equals to sine inverse of 0.986. A would be equals to 80.506. Okay, it is given this angle is obtuse, it is more than 90, so we have to use the obvious case of sine law, ambiguous case of sine law, sorry. ambiguous case of sine law is to get angle A, we have to add 180. Sorry, not add, we subtract 180 from this angle, which is 80.5. All right, so 180 subtract answer, this would be equals to 99.5 degrees. That is the obtuse angle. So this angle is 99.5. So the bearing is in 99.5. You add 145. The bearing is 244.5. So the bearing is 244.5 degrees, or we can round it to 245 degrees. Okay, sorry students, I did the mistake in part A. The bearing is not to 325. Let me show you. So as you guys can see, we have the two parallel, this north line and this north line. These are the two parallel lines and they are joining with this line. Okay, so this angle and this angle, these two are alternate angles and they are equal. Or if this angle is 145, then this whole angle is 145, right? So this whole angle is 145, and this angle 145, this also include 38 degrees as well, right? So we can do from 145, you have to subtract 38 degrees to get this angle. All right, so let me show you. 145 minus 38, this is 107 degree. So this angle is 107. So in 180 add 107, you will get the bearing plus 180. This is 287. Sorry, I messed up. Question number 18, part A, factorize. So 18 and 98. Okay, let's take 2 common. 2 times 9 is 18. A square minus 98 divided by 2 is 49. So 2 is common. We can say this is 3a square. 9 is 3 square and a square. 49 is the square of 7. So the factored form is 2 into 3a plus 7 and 3a minus 7. The two factors. Use a formula of difference of square, a square minus b square. The factors are a plus b into a minus b. Right. Now for part B, you have to expand and simplify. So this is pretty simple. Let me expand with x. X expand to 2x minus 1 and 4 expanded to 2x minus 1, and the last bracket x minus 2 stays the same. This would be 2x square minus x. This would be 4 times 2 is 8x minus 4. All right, this would be x minus 2. Okay, further simplification, 2x square plus 7x minus 4 and product with x minus 2. So let's take a product with x. 2x cube 7x square minus 4x. I multiplied x, then I'll multiply with minus 2. Minus 2 times 2 is minus 4x square. 2 times 7 is minus 14x. And 2 times 4 plus 8. Simplified answer is 2x cube. These two are the square term, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 3x square. These two are x term, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 minus 18x plus 8. All right, question number 19. You have to solve this equation from 0 to 360 degrees, okay? So we can say 5 cos x would be equals to negative of 2. Okay, shifting the 2 on the other side. And for this simplification, cos x is minus 2 by 5. Now, we have to check cos is negative in which quadrant by using the CAST rule, C-A-S-T. Cos is positive in first and fourth. It is negative in third and second and third quadrant. Here we have to use theta. Here we use 180 minus theta. Here we use 180 plus theta. Here we use 360 minus theta. So cos is negative in these two quadrants, second and third quadrant. So let me solve for x. X would be equals to cos inverse of 2 by 5. Most of the students complain in the comment section why I'm doing to positive 2 by 5 not, but it is negative 2 by 5. So whenever you have a negative of some angle, you have to solve it by positive, and then you have to check in which quadrant that trigonometric ratio is negative and simplify that further. The domain is in degrees. Your calculator must be in degrees, right? So cos inverse 2 by 5 in terms of degree 66.42. This is 66.42 degrees. Now, cos is negative in second quadrant. Cosine is negative in second and third quadrant, right? Now, let me solve for the second quadrant. And then we have to solve for the third quadrant. For second quadrant, we do 180 degree minus this 66.42 degrees. For third quadrant, we do 180 degree plus 66.42 degrees. 180 minus answer, this is 113.6 degrees if we round it. And 180 plus 66.42, 246.42 degrees. These are the two solutions for the equation between 0 to 360. Question number 20. A piece of metal has a volume of this much centimeter cube, correct to the nearest 20 centimeter cube. Both units are same, cubic centimeter and cubic centimeter. So whenever you have correct to the nearest, you have to add and subtract. So it is 20. So you have to do 20 divided by 2, which is 10. Okay, so the volume is 1240. You have to add 10. In 1240, you have to subtract 10. This is 1250 and this is 1230. This would be the upper bound and this would be the lower bound. The mass of the piece of the metal is this gram, correct to the nearest 100 grams. Both units are in grams, so we can do 100 by 2. This would be 50. Okay, the mass is 7,800. Add 50. In 7,800, subtract 50. This is 7,850. This is 7,750 when you subtract 50. Now the question is calculate the lower bound of the density of the matter. Density is mass over volume. This is the mass, this is a volume. Okay. We have to find the lower bound density. Lower bound, this would be equals to the mass over the volume. The mass should be the lower bound and the volume should be the upper bound. When we are dealing with the uppers and the lower bounds in terms of quotient, in terms of division, if it is lower, then the numerator should be lower, the denominator is upper. If it is upper, the numerator should be upper and the denominator should be lower. So the mass lower bound we have to use and the volume upper bound we have to use. So the answer is 7,750 divided by 1,250. 1,250, yes. Okay, 7,750 divides 1,250. 6.2 gram per centimeter cube. This is the density. So this is 6.2, not 62. Question number 21. OAB is a triangle. Okay. C is a midpoint of OA. C is a midpoint of O to A. It means this length OC and CA both are same. If OC is M, then this length is also M. OC is M, CN is N. C to B is N, sorry. E lies on AB. E is a point which lies on AB. A to E and E to B, they are in the ratio of 4 and 5. So the total ratio of 4 plus 5, this would be equals to 9, right? This is 4 by 9 of AB and this is 5 by 9 of AB. Okay. Now find in terms of n, m and n, the position vector of E means OE we have to work on. Give your answer in its simplest form. First, let me solve what is AB. A to B follows the path of A to C and C to N. AB, AC, CB. A to C is negative M. CB is plus N. This is N minus M, is AB. So this AB is N minus M. This is the value of AB, right? Now let me solve for the position vector of E. OE. If I join O with E, this is OE. You have to move O to A and then A to E. O to A is OCCA, which is M plus M, which is 2M. And this would be 4 by 9 of N minus M. Simplify. 2M plus 4 by 9N minus 4 by 9M. Okay. So in terms of N, we have 4 by 9 is a coefficient of N, and M coefficient would be 2 minus 4 by 9. 2 and 4 by 9. 14 over 9 plus 14 over 9M. So this is the position vector of E in terms of M and N. Question number 22. The line intersect the curve at a point P and Q. Find the coordinates of P and Q. You must show all your working and give your answer correct to decimal place. Alright. The point of intersection of line and the curve. So here y value is 4x plus 12. Substitute the y value over here. So 2x square minus x minus 3. This would be equals to the y, which is 4x plus 12. This is 2x square minus x minus 3 minus 4x minus 12 equals to 0. 2x square minus 5x and 12, 13, 14, 15 minus 15 equals to 0. Up to 2 decimal place we have to solve. Apply the quadratic formula here. X would be equals to negative of the b value plus minus square root the b value square minus 4 times the a value. A value is a coefficient of x square times the c value, which is a constant term, divided by 2 times of the a. All right. So what is x? Which is 5 plus minus root 5 times 5 is 25. Let me simplify this. 4 times 2 times 15, because negative times negative is positive. 120 plus 120 divided by 2 times 2 is 4. 120 plus 25 is 145. X is 5 plus minus root 145 divided by 4. Does not exist. Okay. So let me solve for the 2x values with a positive root and one with a negative root, right? 5 plus root 145 divided by 4 up to 2 decimal place. Okay. 4.26. Okay, now 5 minus root 145 divided by 4 minus 1.76 up to 2 decimal place. You have the two x values. Let me substitute these two x values into the equation of line, which is y equals to 4x plus 12, to get the y coordinate. So y would be equals to 4. The x value is 4.26 plus 12, and the y equals to 4 into minus 1.76 plus 12. 4 into 4.26 plus 12, 29.04, and 4 into minus 1.76 plus 12, 4.96. These are the points of intersection of the line and the curve, the coordinates of the point P and Q. Question number 23. The diagram shows the major segment of a circle, center O, and the radius is 2.5 meters. Okay. So it means from the center to any point on the circle, this is 2.5. This is also 2.5. Okay, from this to this is 2.5. This is 2.5. All right. The segment is a cross section of a tunnel with the height 3 centimeter. The height of the tunnel is 3 centimeter, and this is a cross section. The length of the tunnel is 800 meters, and it's same. It has the same cross section throughout its length. Okay, calculate the volume of the tunnel. So volume of a tunnel is basically equals to area of cross section multiply by the length of the tunnel. As we know, the length of the tunnel is 800. This is a cross section. We have to find out its area. All right, so area of cross section is basically the area of this major sector, right? Area of the major sector plus area of this triangle, right? So we can say the volume of a tunnel is area of sector plus area of triangle. This is the area of cross section, right? And it's multiplied by the length of the tunnel, which is 800 meters, right? So area of a sector, we have a formula theta over 360 degree pi r square. We have the radius, but we don't know the value of theta. Area of a triangle is again half this side and this side, the two radius, which is 2.5, and the other is also 2.5, and sine of the angle between the two sides, this angle we do not know, right? Let's say some theta, and multiply by the length, which is 800. Let me work on this value of theta. All right, so if we consider this triangle, if I can draw the triangle separately over here to visualize the situation more clearly. So let's say okay, right, this is 2.5, this is 2.5. Since the whole length is 3, so as we know that from this to this length is 2.5, right? This length is 2.5, this length is 0.5, because 2.5 plus 0.5 makes the length 3. Okay, this is 2.5, this is 0.5. Hypotenuse, this is a right angle triangle. Let me solve for the base of this triangle. Okay, the Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square equals to the base square plus the perpendicular square. So 2.5 square minus 0.5 its square, this would be equals to the base square, right? Let me simplify this. We have 2.5 square minus 0.5 square. This would be equals to 6. 6 is the base square and the root 6. This is root 6. This is also root 6. So the whole length is, this length is 2 root 6. All right. And this is 2.5. Okay, this is 2.5. Now, as you can see, this triangle, we have all the three sides, 2.5, 2.5, and 2 root 6. We can find out this angle. If we have all the three sides of the triangle, we can use law of cosine to get the angle, right? So let me apply the law of cosine. Law of cosine. So according to the law of cosine, we can say the front side is 2 root 6, its square, equals to the rest of the two sides are 2.5 square plus 2.5 square minus 2 into 2.5 into 2.5 and cos of the angle theta. Let's say this angle I'm naming at theta, right? All right, since it is a right angle triangle, we have the three sides. Let me solve for this angle of the triangle. We have the opposite and the hypotenuse. So we can say sine of angle, let's say theta, this would be equals to opposite is 0.5 and the hypotenuse is 2.5. Okay, so 0.5 over 2.5, this would be 1 by 5. So sine inverse of the angle is 11.5, right? So this theta is 11.5 degrees. This is 11.5. This is also 11.5. Since it is a isosceles triangle, you guys can see the two sides are same, the two angles are same. We can easily guess the third angle of the triangle, right? Okay, 11.5, you have to times it by 2 and 180, subtract answer. This angle is 156.9, or we can say 157 is this angle, right? So we have got this angle is 156.9. Okay, so if this angle is 156.9, so the whole angle is 156.9. The whole angle is 360. From 360 you have to subtract it, so this angle is 203.1. 203.1, and this angle is 156.9. So if you add 203.1 and 156.9, sorry, 203.1 plus 156.9, total is 360. The whole angle circle is 360 degree. All right, so now we can just plug the values over here. So this theta is 203.1 and this theta for this triangle is 156.9. Let's work on the volume. So the volume is equals to theta is 203.1 over 360, pi, radius is 2.5, it's square, plus half, the two sides are 2.5, it's square, and sine of the angle between them is 156.9, and this is going to multiply with the length, which is 800. Let me simplify all of these. 203.1 over 360 times it by pi times it 2.5 square. This would be equals to 11.077, and 1 by 2 times 0.5 square times sine of 156.9 degrees. This would be 1.226 and times it by 800. Okay, this thing add up with 11.077 times 12.303 times it by 800, which is the length of the tunnel. This is 9,842 is the volume. So the volume is 9,842.4 meter cube. So that is the volume of the tunnel. So that was the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.